Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of MotoGP 20 here on this channel. This is part number 21 of my career walkthrough. Now in today's episode we have our Moto2 debut with the Sky Racing Team VR46, and this is the awesome machine that we've got to try and use. I'm really looking forward to this and I hope you like the design on my crash helmets. If you want to design me another crash helmet or a number for my bike, please let me know and I will use that design in one of my races. Right, we have done a couple of upgrades. We've got one on the engine that's already done. The frame has got another week, but we haven't done any on the electronics because we haven't got enough development points, and that's something we're going to have to focus on. I've heard that these bikes are very hard to control because some of the electronics don't work, like anti-wheelie, traction control's not as good, and the engine braking. So it's going to be very tough. I'm only going to do free practice free. Got some good weather. Oh, this is going to be insane. I hope you enjoy this episode. This is going to be one of the toughest tests, so let's get straight into it. So here we go. Right, so here we go with our first experience on the Moto2 bike. This is going to be insane. Let's just see how we go. Oh, flipping out, that front wheel goes up pretty easily. And let's just try and put in a couple of laps in this development test and just get the handle on this bike. Got to achieve a 201.8 on the brakes. Oh, flipping out, he came flying out that corner. That threw me out slightly, and oh, it doesn't feel too bad. I'm just trying to be a bit better on the throttle because you've got to remember this bike has got a lot more power. And oh, flipping out it goes, the wheel goes up so easily. And this is what I've been told by a couple of people in the comments, that yeah, anti-wheelie is something that you have to really get up to standard early on in your career, because these things just wheelie out of the slow corners and it slows you down quite a lot. So that doesn't handle too bad. We're on the default setup. We haven't adjusted anything, and if I do, oh flipping now, this bike just is a wheelie monster, and this is going to really affect my time. Just got to try and keep it steady. And like I said, if I do any adjustments on the bike, I will share all my setups. So flipping heck, not having much luck keeping that front wheel down. Going to have to sort of get adjusted. It might take a few episodes to get used to the power difference between this and Moto3. Oh flipping heck, this is going to really cost me a lot on time. Got to try and just be a little bit smoother. I might have to adjust my controller. I'm using a Revolution Pro Controller 2. I might just adjust the settings on my controller because I think it's a little bit over sensitive, especially on the throttle. That's not too bad. Slow it down. Coming towards the end of the lap. This has been a good lap. I didn't crash. That is one bonus. Final corner. And this isn't going to be the greatest time. And it's not bad. Final corner, and I don't think we're going to be able to get any slipstream from the bike in front. And let's see what time we get. 2 minutes. Oh, that's not too bad. Right, let's see if we can push this bike a little bit harder on this development test. And now we haven't got the racing line, and the time's just gone in at 1:58.9. But I reckon the times are going to be in the 1:57s probably once we get into the qualifying. Got no idea what tyres I'm going to go with. I'm using the softs for this test, but when I was using the mediums in the previous test, oh my god, they were just melting after a couple of laps. So I don't know what tyres. Maybe I might have to go with the hards. Let's just try and set a time. So the threshold that we need to get is a 1:59.9, and the fastest one that is a 1:59.1. So let's see if we can achieve that, because we need all the development points we can get. I just can't keep the front wheel down. Might have to do a bit of short shifting, I think. It's just about getting geared up into this. I mean, this bike is so different. It handles different to a Moto3. I think in the wet it's going to be even more difficult. So let's just try. I think the race is going to be, it's going to be a challenge. I mean, I'm going to say now, I'll be happy with a top 10. I don't think I'm going to be in the top 5, but if we can be thereabouts, I'll be happy for our first race. This isn't one of my strongest circuits. Just trying to... Oh, Sam Moses has put in a time of a 1:58.9. Let's see if we can match that. It's not too bad. Right, final bend. This is definitely going to be quicker than our last lap we put in. But is it going to be enough to get the quick lap simulation time under 1:59? And we hit 1:58.1. That wasn't bad. Let's see if we can better that. Right, so we end the free practice with the fastest lap. I think it's because I used the mediums for the development test, and a lot of the other riders were using mediums for most of their laps. That's why I think I was slightly quicker. But anyway, now we've got to do the same in the qualifying, so let's get straight into it. Right, so here we go with our qualifying lap, and no one's really set a fast time yet, but there's still over 8 minutes to go, so there's still time. So let's see if we can put in a half-decent lap. God, we've just overshot that corner. Really struggling to keep the front wheel down, and that is costing me a lot of time. And the bike is understeering quite a bit, but I'm reluctant to make any adjustments just yet. I think I want to get used to the bike on default first, and then I can find what I need to adjust to make it a little bit better. And we're slightly up on the first sector, but it's because, oh God, we've overshot that corner. Oh God. Yeah, no one's really set a fast time yet. I'm hoping that my teammates, I've got 2 teammates in this team, are going to be pretty quick as well. So we're going to have a bit of a competition. God dear, this is a bit of a difficult one. Hold it, hold it. Well, that wasn't too bad. Again, just changing direction is the problem. And keeping that front wheel down. Definitely going to have to get used to throttle control. Because with the Moto3s, you could just literally full throttle it most of the time. Low on fuel. Should hopefully have enough fuel to get to the end. It's going to be close. And again, onto the curb. Still struggling to hold those smooth lines. Let's see if we can just... I think this is going to be tight for fuel. We might have just overdone this. Final corner. Oh no, we might be alright. It's going to be close. Again, need to be tight to the apex through there and to the line. Keep that front wheel down. I'm not sure whether this is going to be quicker than our qualifying, our free practice lap, but it should be okay. And oh, 1:57.7. Well, that isn't too bad. Right, let's slow down. Whoops. Whoopsie. Right, that is the end of the qualifying, and we actually got pole position, which is a real surprise. I was expecting the times to be in the low 1:57s and even in the 1:56. I'm surprised. I put in that time early on and no one matched it. But that doesn't mean they're not going to be fast in the race. So let's get straight into it and see if we can actually get off the line without flipping it. So here we go.
To all our viewers from the peninsula of Qatar, the floodlights that light up the Losail circuit are on, and any moment now the Moto2 bikes will be revving their engines. Once again, as is customary on this track, we're looking forward to great weather for the Grand Prix, with temperatures that shouldn't cause any tyre problems.
Right guys, so here we go with our Moto2 debut. This is going to be insane. Now, I wasn't sure about the tyres to go with for this race, so I've just gone for something safe, hard rear, medium fronts, and just see how that goes. Flipping out, not even the computer can keep the wheel down, but looking at some of the other tyres, people are on soft. That's going to be insane. They're not going to last, but we're going to find out very, very soon. Can I actually launch this bike off the line without flipping it? Right, so here we go at the start of the race. Can we actually launch this bike without flipping it? We're going to have to be smooth on the throttle and nice and smooth. Keep that front wheel down. Oh, God, it won't go down. Oh, and we're off, but we have lost a few places right into that first corner. Let's try and get into rhythm early on, but most other riders are on soft, so it's going to take us a little bit longer to get the heat in our tyres with the hard rear and medium front. but let's just try and stick with these as long as we can. Now our two teammates, Marco and Luca, are in front of us. Hopefully they will pick up some decent points as well. Just keep it steady, and we are sitting in P7, so that wasn't the worst start. Just trying to hold those lines, and good on the brakes, turn it in, and we've run that a little bit wider. Just not feeling this at the moment. Using tyres I haven't used and trying to get that front wheel down is an absolute nightmare. So we've got Luca Marini's in front of us, and I think Marco's in front of him. Oh, flipping now, be careful, don't lose the rear early on. And again, changing direction is going to be a little bit of an issue. We do have to focus on those upgrades early on, especially on the anti-wheelie. Although the temperature is going to be a little bit lower this time of night, and it did say you won't have any tyre issues, and that's why most of the AI have gone for soft, but I didn't want to risk it, so we will see. I might have gone with the wrong tyre choice, but at the moment we're sitting in P6, and I'm flipping out, we'll just overrun that slightly. Be careful. Just trying to stick with these guys' pace early on, but it is... you can't full throttle it. I keep forgetting I'm not on a Moto3 bike now. I can't get away with doing that. Right into that corner. Let's try and hold an inside line and try and tuck in behind our teammate Marini. And Luca's actually got away really well there. So let's just stick it in power 2 and see if we can get a bit of a tow along this straight. And we go into lap 2. And slow it down. Good on the brakes. Be careful. Wasn't too bad. Could have been a little bit tighter there. But if we finish in this place, I would be happy with this. This would be a good start. 5th place on my first race. I'll take that now. But we've got a long way to go. Let's try and slow it down, get turned in. Let's try and stay off the curbs. I think these tyres will start to feel a little bit better after about 2 or 3 laps. Just overshot that corner again, and that has thrown us out for that corner. We want to be closer to the apex. Now I didn't make any adjustments, so I haven't adjusted anything that will maybe help me a little bit, but I think I'm definitely going to make some adjustments for the next race, and I will share them with you guys. Just struggling to get that front wheel down. I think the electronics and the anti-wheelie is going to be top of the list to get upgraded first, more than even the engine and the frame. Just overshot in that corner. I'm just struggling. I think this is just the tyres. I'm not used to having harder compounds. I just don't have the grip that I had when I was doing the qualifying laps. Be careful onto the curb there. Just losing a bit of ground on these 4 in front. And again, oh God, on a mistake. I'm bound to make mistakes. I think this bike is going to be a lot harder to get used to, but it is going to pose a much greater challenge. Again, just trying to get a nice tight line. That was a little bit better into that corner, and the front on this, and that's a medium tyre, doesn't look too great after 2 laps. Bearing in mind that some of the riders in front of us have got soft, and Baldassari has put the fastest lap in. 1:58, so the pace isn't too bad at the moment. Definitely think I'm slowly getting the hang of this, and we have closed in on Luca, and our other teammate Marco's in front of him, so we're going to get good team points here if we could all finish in the top 5, but I can't see who is leading the race. Just overshooting that corner. The braking is definitely different. I think on the Moto3 you could get away with braking a lot later. I don't think this is the case on this bike. I think this is going to pose a lot of issues when we get wet weather as well. Oh God, that is going to be horrendous, I think, at first. It's not too bad through there. And again, just trying to... we're getting a lot tighter now. Definitely feeling... but look at the front tyre, and that's a medium. It's really getting chewed to pieces. Still got a couple of laps to go after this one. It's not too bad through there. Trying to hold it, that line. Just bumping up on the curb. That's not going to help the tyre wear. Avoid doing that. And we haven't seen many crashes, so that's positive. I think we got away better than I thought I would, going by how I was struggling in the practice sessions. That's not bad. Final corner. Right, we should be able to get a bit of slipstream of Luca here. Let's see if we can just... And Baldassarri's put in a faster lap time. I assume Baldassarri's is the one leading the race. We've just overtaken Luca. Oh God, did you see that back wheel go up? A bit too heavy on the braking, and Marini was going to try and get back past, but we managed to hold that, and we're in behind Marco. Let's just try and latch onto them. Still struggling with the front wheel, and that front tyre is looking really, really bad. Is it going to last? Hopefully it will. They're still maintaining a decent pace considering they're on the soft. There's no way in the world if I'd gone soft that I'd even be... I think I would have come off. Again, just trying to keep those lines a little bit smoother. Struggling to keep that front wheel down. Not too bad through there. Now, for today's race, I haven't gone with the manual gears. I think... Oh, bloody hell, almost done an endo then. I just thought I'd get used to the bike first on the automatic gears, and then I think I'm definitely going to have to use manual because I'm struggling to keep that front wheel down. At least you can short shift and keep the front wheel down. Well, I have to see if it makes that much of a difference, really. Again, just trying to keep those lines. Oh, that fell a little bit awkward through there. Chewing up that front tyre, struggling to keep up with Marco, but the other two are starting to pull away, so I definitely don't think we're going to catch them two, but we might be able to latch onto Marco if we can get a bit of slipstream off him on this straight. I think we should be able to. And, oh, bloody hell, front wheel, stay down. Right, slipstream. Let's see if we can get past him, and we've pulled away from Marini. And Baldassarri's to put in another faster lap, so he is definitely on it. I don't think we're anywhere near that sort of pace. Oh, the rear was going, and oh my God, the right side of that front tyre is almost gone. We're going to have to be so careful on this lap. I think we're sort of at risk of coming off, I think. So tyre compound choices in Moto2 is going to be a lot harder because we actually forgot to put the percentage of laps up for this race. I've got to change it, but I will for the next one. I will put it up, so there's going to be more laps, and we're going to have to choose the right tyres, I'm telling you. Oh no, don't go up there. I thought I was slightly catching him then. Can we actually get a podium finish here? I think Marco is... Flipping out, made a mistake on that section there. Oh, luckily got away with that. But that front tyre is completely shot to pieces on the right side. Oh God, every time I go on that side of the tyre, and again, just got no way of keeping that front wheel down when I'm trying to power out of those corners. Be careful on that side of the tyre. Oh God, please don't slide off. We're almost there. Can we actually get a podium finish? And this has actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would do. And again, just trying to hold it. Final bend. Don't lose it here now, Cole. I'm going to be kicking myself if I bin it now. Keep it smooth and straighten it up. And it looks like we're going to take a third place finish. Oh, that's insane. I've got a lot of practicing to do to get used to this bike. It is so different. They've done a fantastic job on this game. This is definitely more of a challenge. And we had a half-decent lap time there, 1:58.3. That wasn't too bad. But, yeah, I think we need a lot of practice. But we're going to have a look at a couple of highlights from that race. Right, we're just having a look at 2 of the overtakes that I did. So the first one was Luca. That was on the straight, into that corner, hard on the brakes. He almost came back at me, but just held firm and got into that next corner and held a position. But yeah, that was definitely a risky one at the time because I was really struggling with the power of the bike. And as you can see, just could not keep that front wheel down. Once again, it was another overtake on the final straight, but this time I went into that first right-hand corner much smoother as I was getting the hang of the bike. So this was a good overtake, good on the brakes, into that turn. The only unfortunate thing, I just did not manage to maintain that sort of pace to catch the other two up, but third position is still a good finish. Right, so that is the standings after the first race. So Lorenzo Baldassarri gets 25 points, but my teammates got 4th and 5th, and I got 3rd. So we're top of the team championship. That's something to celebrate. So it's all team VR46 all the way. So can we win the team championship? I'm hoping we can. I've got 2 very capable teammates with a very good bike. Just need to maybe get the bike upgraded in certain areas very, very quickly. So we really do need to spend those development points very wisely. But I also think in the next race I'm going to have a look at the setup a bit more because I was struggling with the braking. It was understeering. I was just struggling to take the right lines through the corners, and I'm just going to have to get better with the throttle control. This bike is a total different animal, and it's going to take some time to get used to, but it's a journey. Thank you for joining me on this career. Now let's get into how many points we actually earned. Now we didn't do all the development tests. I might do some of the other free practice sessions because we ran out of time with just the one. This is the thing you don't think. I could manage it in Moto3 because I had the pace. Now I haven't got the pace, and I'm going to have to get used to the bike. And as soon as they throw in the weather conditions, I think it's going to be very, very difficult. And we're going to up the laps as well in the next race because I forgot to do that. But we didn't pass the race simulation. We did do a couple of laps, but for some reason we didn't get any points for it. But that's something we need to work on. But let's have a look what we can improve on the bike for the next race. Let's get straight into that. Right, so in the next episode we go to the Circuit of the Americas, and we have managed to upgrade a couple of things. So the engine upgrade is finished. We've got another week for the frame, so that's not going to be ready for the next race, unfortunately. But we have started an upgrade on the anti-wheelie because that was just horrendous in that race, and we do need to sort that out, and that's another week. So we will benefit for that in Argentina, but not for the next race, so we're going to have to try and deal with it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.